Say hi. Fatima? Ma. Hey, I'm live today in the Kina government outside of the Hathor Temple. I can see it. It's not that far away from me. Okay. Kind of busy, but kind of not busy. A lot of little vehicles going by, a lot of kids, a lot of animals. So the temple is that way. Oh my gosh, it's so close. So I'm on the porch of my host, and we're making videos. I'm making this video this morning, and the kids are here. Gonna protect. Keeps going out. It keeps going out. I think maybe instead of doing a live, I might just record a video and upload it. So it's got one more time, and then I'm gonna have to cut it out, y'all. I'm gonna have to just upload a video. But the topic is in the middle of something big. It's your fort. Who do you keep in and who do you kick out? And then I'll do these card readings. So you're here. Okay, so you went out. I didn't go out, but hit a like or something if you can still see me. So the whole idea of having a fort is to protect the city, but you're protecting what's the most important thing inside the city, which is the royalty that is inside the city. Usually the people are outside, even when it's a castle, like the royalty is inside and the people are out amongst the city. But then with the fort, you're protecting yourself from warfare. And so in your life, you have to protect yourself from spiritual warfare, from attacks from the outside. And you're trying to protect what's in the middle, what's important. And right now, there's a donkey hollering. It's so funny. You're in the middle of something big, and you are the something big that's in the middle. So you have to put some walls around. And a lot of people, I wrote a thing the other day. It says, love all, trust a few, but row your own canoe. And during my old ceremonies, I talk about the heart, but there's two parts to your heart. There's your higher heart. That's that heart that loves everybody. Don't hang out with everybody, but you love everybody on a level where you don't have genuine hatred towards people. Like a Mother Teresa or a Mother Mary Magdalene type love. So that, even agape love, if you would like to say that. But then there's your actual heart that you deal with your daily connections. And those are the people you love and the people that you trust. And you have to be careful of who that is. I remember during one of my past life readings that one of the hardest things I had to do as being in charge of a city was evicting someone out of that city that I really cared about. It was another official that I really cared about and I really loved. And I had to exile that person that I really, really loved like a brother and really cared about. And it hurt me deeply. And this is something that we have to do in our own lives is we can love people, but we have to love them at certain levels. And we have to put certain walls in certain places. Not to say that we need to have spiritual blocks, but there's a thing called wisdom where you know who can you trust and who can you let in and how far do you let people in and how do they earn your trust. You can love people, but you have to have them in their place because your actual heart is the important thing that you're protecting. And you have to have a fort, you have to have a system. And especially I'm noticing too that as you go from home to home, and I can love the people in the homes, but I have to protect my energy. And so, I didn't bring any sage and I don't have my incense. I do have my oil spray mixture. I mix it up called Bring It On. And it's got a lot of good stuff in here, and it's got the crystals in the bottom. And so I'll spray that, you know, and kind of like recenter myself. And I notice I'm grounding when I get to the temples and stuff, or as I'm standing in certain places, but not all the time. And so I've been having like these emotional outbursts. It's like I'm hot, and then sometimes I'm getting a little sad or emotional, or I'm a little bit too excited or too happy, and I'll like bust out into tears when I'm happy, bust out into tears when I'm sad, bust out into tears when I'm just busting out in a lot of tears. I'll pray and bust into tears, but I know that I have to do a lot more grounding to protect my energy. Not necessarily that it's from bad people, but you can't go around feeling everything that everybody else feels, especially as you become you know, have to go into groups of larger peoples or going into other people's homes and you don't know. Or one thing I would tell my sister too is, because she lives in an apartment, you got people above you, people below you, people from the left, people to the right. And so each one of us carries an energy about 6 feet around us. And I don't think it's a total of 6 feet. I think it goes above you 6 feet, below you 6 feet. And so while you're in your little room, in your little apartment, guess what? Someone else's energy is coming from the bottom or from the top. Someone else's energy can be coming from the top. And you're wondering why. I used to live in apartments. I used to be feeling so weird and creeped out and upset and stressed out, because back then I didn't know anything about energy and I didn't know about grounding, and I was just like all over emotionally and stuff like that. And so now that we understand these things, even with human design, now that we understand these things, we know, let me do this, let me ground. When I meditate, take a deep breath, anchor in from my feet and allow myself to grow roots, tapping into the earth and connecting and spread it out. Spread my roots out around me, and I can feel it like little tree roots growing around in the ground. And then I bring that energy up through my feet, up into the legs, up into the hips, into the heart, out into the arms, up into the throat, into the third eye, up into the crown. Now imagine my body filled with light. Now spread that out into a bubble 6 feet around me, to the front, to the back, to the left, to the right, top and bottom. Now I'm an energy ball of light. And now I ask Source, let me borrow that energy that you have so I don't have to use my own. Fill this circle up with light and spread it out into the area to all those that need it. And I can see these waves of energy just spreading through the earth, spreading through, affecting the people around me, as they now can receive this energy directly from Source and not from myself. And then I ask myself, or ask my higher self to step in, my oversoul, Source. Allow me to share the love and energy from you, but allow me to maintain the energy that I have inside of me for myself. Allow me to separate my energy from others and just to remain filled with light. I also like to do this in the store, where I ask Source to allow me to keep my energy for myself, even though I'm sharing your light. Allow me to keep my energy for myself and to have conversations with the people that I'm supposed to. So I'm not walking around having random conversations that are pointless, but that I am focused that day on who am I supposed to meet, and what am I supposed to learn, or who am I supposed to affect. And then I ask Source to do this for me and allow me to keep my energy for myself. And so I noticed a couple of times I didn't do that. And then I'll have like an emotional outburst. And so as we're understanding that your body is the temple, the same way that this is a temple, there's walls around the temple, there's hidden doors that you go into. So there's some things that about yourself that remain hidden from you. But there's some things that you keep hidden from others because in your higher heart, you love everybody. But in your heart of hearts, you know that you can only allow certain people inside that space. You cannot let everybody up in your house, you know. And then the hard part is sometimes you gotta kick some people out of your house. Have you ever had to kick someone out of your house? Ooh wee. I could tell you some stories. I've had to really remove some people out of my house before, and it wasn't cute. Because I like to call 911 first and then act stupid. So it's funny because I see my mom do that too. Have like a dramatic outburst or whatever and kick the person out. But like I said, I'm not going to cheat. Girl, Lakeside, I can tell you a story, girl. I knew I had to kick this fella out of our house one time. I went and called 911. I sprayed him in the face with rage. Because then I knew he would start a fight and the police came and they took him. So you don't want your life to get so extreme where you have to do like ridiculous things and stuff to get people out of your life. First, let's do prevention. So we, you know, have to really slow down. And I know too, and sometimes we meet people and their energy starts off already off, but you're like, oh, I'm just gonna ignore that, you know, and we ignore our own feelings and we do it anyway. But let's see if these cards match up this morning. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull 3 cards, and I'm loving how these things line up. I don't know if you saw yesterday. Yeah, we have all had lessons, Laura, but like day before yesterday, we went to Calabash. That morning, my reading was about Kanoom and his wife Satis, and then that day we went to that temple and I saw Satis and Kanoom right there in the temple in their special place, and I was like, oh my god, this is so exciting. So the card for the morning, the number, I think it comes out backwards, the number for you is scrying true future. That's going to be interesting. Lordy Lord, she is all up in it every day. Satis. That's number 32. And then men. He blows it away. So in all these statues and all these things, look, here's this guy with the big woody. So oh goodness, I'm glad this is going well because I think I'm just using data. So the first one was number 34, which was scrying. And I'm gonna, And so we were talking about having a fortress. Scrying was a popular divination tool used by the priestess and the Isis and Indira temple. Who can make this up? Because I'm here today, okay, right? And gazing into the waters and essential oils and crystal bowl. Essential oil, water, and crystals. And using a mirror. Oh, this is so good. I am the goddess of the past, present, and future. Know your soul has a blueprint known as your true future. You must activate your seeds of divinity to follow your purpose for first ever incarnating on earth. Follow your soul's purpose, and this will be your final time on earth. Enlightenment will be yours, glorious eternal life, and the gods in the heavenly fields await you. Your future will be fully revealed when you are truly ready. Wow. The fact that they just hit on the Indira temple and the goddess Hathor was amazing. Even those, a lot of those synchronicities there. But what I do like is that the mirror, it let other people see who they are. But then on the opposite side, it's also carried a shield. So this was a shield to see the future, and other people could see themselves in their own true light. I really think that hits the point of what we're saying. I mean, it adds the future, but it's like let people be in their space, and I got a shield of protection. So now I'm in my space and seeing, maybe seeing people as they truly are. But then part of this is them seeing themselves as they truly are. I really like that card, and I think it resonates with what we've already discussed. Number 32, Satis. Again, probably get tired of reading Satis card because she's on here every day. Known as Satet, the feminine aspect of Kanum, she initiates new projects. And so this thing was talking about your true future and opening up your true future, and she's all into future projects with life-giving water. See now, connected to the star Sirius, I created a flow of good things in your life, and sweet water and positive change, satisfaction and abundance is coming to you if you invoke me. I don't know why the screen turned dark, but you know, it's growing your crops, new projects. It's sadness again, you know, and ourselves as we honor ourselves as we pour out life-giving waters. And then let's go to men, Mr. Busy 21. The girls are busy. They're having fun. Men is a very early pre-dynastic god associated with fertility and sexual prowess in men and bows, and the erect penis has to do with the sacral chakra, symbolizing simple pleasure associated with Sekhmet and the Kundalini energy. See me, I'm so proud. I am the good-looking guy, a God who wishes you well and allows some sexual energy to be felt in your lower chakras. By this, we mean you need to generate energy in the lower chakras to activate the life force energy that it's good to have good sex and nice baby boys. Yes, we used to do this if you wish for one. I'm gonna say in the area of work, a good time to follow suitable work or build up a career. You might feel tested at times, but keep going as you will build a successful career. Some disruptions during due to storms and floods is possible on certain dates, so calculate your time of travel. I'm gonna equate that too with the floods of emotions, especially. Well, water always has to do with emotions, but then and it says track your dates for a while now because I'm out here, you know, we're tracking your menstrual cycle during travel because that also like triggers a lot of emotional, you know, outbursts and things like that, especially when you're dealing with travel, you're out of the home, you're away from family, away from your pet, and then you don't have your conveniences and you can get even more emotional. Health problems will resolve, especially with treatments involving energy healing. And that's a major part of also another major part of why I'm here. The future, a short testing time followed by success with work, family, and abundance. And I'm going to take all of that. Money will become available to you soon. Clearing some energy blockages in the base chakra will improve your flow. And I'm going to ask that you all be more entitled to move yourself out of the fear of making plans because of money. And my last trip to Egypt, I did not have money to do it. I had a car accident and boom, I met this lady who was going to Egypt. So I said, okay, I'm gonna take my money and I'm gonna do it. But this time, you know, at that time during the trip, I was like busted and disgusted. Not that I didn't have money, it was in my American Express and I could not get that transfer. So I started I wasn't going to complain about it. I was just kind of going to think of a way to be resourceful on how am I going to get this money. And what I did was I started taking pictures of the items around me and started selling them online and asking for donations. Like I never ask anybody for money. I started asking people for donations, and I made $1,300 in 24 hours. And so I know the saying is usually if money was no object. But what if you change that around so you can really understand what they're saying? What if money was no obstacle? Because the first thing we do when someone asks you, do you want to take this class, or do you want to go on this trip, or do you want to do something, we say, oh, I don't have enough money. I never say that anymore. Instead, I do not make money an obstacle. I make the plan to do it, and I, look at the dates, and then I make the plan. And just like this trip, I did not have money for this trip. Girl, no, did not have money for this trip. And about 45 days, and I said, I came here in December. By January 1st, I already knew I was coming back, and I had set the date. I had set the date maybe January, February. In April 23rd, all of a sudden, boom, I got a deposit in my account. And I had enough for the trip, and I knew that I was going to have it enough that I could take this trip and come home and not be in trouble. Let's just say that. And I think I have lots of friends who do this, but instead they say, oh, I can't afford to go. Make a plan to go. Make a plan to go and ask for the Creator to show you that He really exists in your life, to prove that the powers that you believe in exist. I used to sit next to a girl, and she used to say, oh Lord, I wish I had $1 million. And she had a lot of $1 million ideas. She just didn't have $1 million. But I didn't really see her acting on that faith. That's another thing. Once you make the commitment and make the plans, start acting on faith. Start doing what it takes to prove to Source that you really expect to get this. And of course, you're going to go out with gratitude as well. So hopefully the message resonates about your fort. You got a really beautiful space inside you that you need to protect and keep clean. You have higher heart to love people, love on a grand scale. But then you have your energy, and you have to protect your energy. So tell me some of the ways that you guys are protecting your energy. Because today, I need to set a fire. I need to set something on fire. So I told my friend, I said, hey, Dr. Walid, I need to set some fire. I need to set some fire because I need to shed off some things that I've collected while I was here. And I don't know, fire just helps me focus. I was a fire breather or star. A lot of things associated with fire in my past. So fire is definitely my element. But even when you're out of your element, you need to bring yourself back into your element. And thank you, because I appreciate you watching. And I'll talk to you later. Y'all want to say bye-bye? Bye-bye. Let's say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Fatima. Ah!
Bye-bye.
You gotta come closer.
Bye-bye.
Bye.